Welcome to The Shoreline, brought to you by Shores and Islands, Ohio, where finding your Lake Erie love is a sure thing. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Jill Bauer, PR Manager for Shores and Islands, Ohio. We bring you The Shoreline every week to give you the inside scoop on what's happening here in our island and coastal communities. Well, June just keeps flying by and summer is really heating up. I've had the opportunity to tour so many interesting places lately, hopefully places that will show up on here on The Shoreline in the future. But in the meantime, I wanted to give a couple of quick shout outs to some places that I've been recently. First, I was able to attend a kickoff for the Barrels and Bites Festival at Cedar Point, and I got to see a show and sample many of the unique food offerings found throughout the festival. Let me just say that the entertainment options at the park this season and always are absolutely phenomenal. As far as the food goes, there wasn't anything I sampled that wasn't amazing. But if I had to recommend one thing to try, it's going to be the bourbon barbecue brisket burnt ends with truffled cheddar grits. So good. In addition to food, the event includes special games and activities, music, and of course, beer, bourbon, and wine tastings all throughout the Frontier Trail. Barrels and Bites at Cedar Point continues through June 28th. I also recently got to go to Lagoon Deer Park. I hadn't been there since I was a kid. It was just as I remembered it, though. And there's something to be said for the nostalgia. Just don't mess with a good thing. We got to pet and feed a ton of different deer, llamas, a Highland cow, and goats. We got to see a ton of newborn babies. I even got to hold a baby goat. They also have a stocked fishing pond there, so you can go out there and fish. Lagoon Deer Park is celebrating 67 years and is open daily from May through October. And then finally, our team recently spent a full day exploring Vermilion. We started out with a tour of the all-new Breege Inn, which is just a gorgeous boutique hotel with 5 beautifully decorated spaces, some of which can sleep up to 8 people. It's definitely worth checking out for your next Vermilion visit. Then we enjoyed a river cruise on the Mystic Belle, such a fun tour through the lagoons, along the beachfront, and then downriver. We got to see tons of wildlife. That concluded with lunch at the Chart Room, which opened late last year along the lagoons. Everyone's food looked delicious, and my Chipotle chicken flatbread was tasty. Our day concluded with half of our team going ziplining at Common Ground Canopy Tours, and the rest of us just kind of exploring Vermilion, the beach, and the downtown shopping area. The new Main Street beach landscape, the parking area, the restroom and concessions building that they just put up there, it looks great. June's America 250 Ohio theme is exploring Ohio's natural resources, which is a perfect tie-in to today's topic. But before we get into that, I wanted to quickly mention an upcoming America 250 event. On Thursday, July 2nd, Shores and Islands will be hosting a community showcase, which is called Pier, P-I-E-R, Into the Past. It's going to be at the Jackson Street Pier from 5 to 7 p.m., just before the weekly Party at the Pier concert event. Before the music begins, visit with representatives from local museums and historical organizations, explore exhibits and interactive demonstrations, learn about America 250 initiatives, events, and trails you can explore. Then stick around for entertainment from Straight On, a musical tribute to the music of Heart. And that, of course, is going to be sponsored by Shores and Islands, Ohio, so you'll see us there as well. You can get details on all of the places I mentioned today and all of the events coming up on shoresandislands.com. And speaking of sponsors, June's episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by Firelands Winery. Firelands Winery, celebrating over 145 years of Ohio winemaking tradition. Located on Bardshar Road, Sandusky. Learn more at firelandswinery.com. Today on The Shoreline, we're headed back out to South Bass Island to learn about a free, family-friendly attraction to add to your everyday island getaway to Put-in-Bay. The Aquatic Visitors Center was built in 1907 as the first Ohio state fish hatchery. Millions of fish, walleye, yellow perch, salmon, whitefish, and more were raised in the facility until 1988. The Ohio Division of Wildlife then transformed the facility into an educational site, and after years of collaboration with Ohio Sea Grant, it has now been fully renovated. Reopened late summer 2025, the updated visitor center blends history, science, and fun for visitors of all ages. Joining us today on the program is Steve Norton, the manager of the Aquatic Visitors Center with the Ohio Division of Wildlife. Steve oversees daily operations at the historic fish hatchery on South Bass Island, from educational programs to partnerships, staffing, and special events. Steve brings more than 25 years of corporate experience to the center, much of it in healthcare, where he focused on storytelling, engagement, and public affairs. Before that, he served in the U.S. Army with the U.S. and international deployments. And Steve loves spending time outdoors, don't we all? Especially hiking and kayaking along our shores and islands. So it sounds like he's in the perfect job. Welcome to the Shoreline, Steve.
Well, thank you for that lovely introduction, Jill, and the invitation to be on the program. Thrilled to be here.
Of course. So for someone who's never visited the Aquatic Visitor Center, what can they expect when they walk through the doors? You mentioned before we started recording that you've got literally hundreds of people visiting today. What are they seeing there?
That's a great opening question. And I think the first thing people notice when they walk through the doors is, wow, this is not a traditional museum. It's hands-on. It's entirely focused on Lake Erie, and our visitors can explore live fish exhibits. We have interactive displays. We have aquariums, lots of fish, and of course, do a deep dive and learn about how Lake Erie supports wildlife, how it supports recreation, and then importantly, it's an economic driver. So how it supports communities all along our shoreline. So whether you're a toddler, a 6-year-old, a 60-year-old toddler, there's something that will capture your attention.
Well, let's talk about the recent renovation in 2025. So you reopened late last year, and that renovation provided critical infrastructure improvements to preserve your historical building. Unfortunately, you had to be closed for quite a while to make that happen, but you were able to reopen, as you said, I think in August of 2025. What additions were made to the building with the renovation?
Yeah, it's a remarkable transformation, Jill. So the building is 119 years old, opened in 1907. With the support from Governor Mike DeWine, the Ohio legislature approved a $6.2 million budget, enabled us to modernize this facility. So all new interactive exhibits, we have updated aquariums, improved access for the first time ever with elevators and entrance ramps, all new building systems. And it's really allowed us to present the building as it operated as a hatchery for the first 80 years of its life. And then it made this pivot or transition to becoming, from raising fish to raising awareness, and really help tell the story of Lake Erie conservation and fisheries management today.
Well, accessibility is so important. It allows everybody to be able to visit, regardless of age, disability, kids in strollers. As a mom, I appreciate that, and good clean restrooms as well. One of the best things about the center is that it is completely free. Again, appreciate that as a mom. Who is this designed for? Why should families, boaters, anglers, or anyone visiting Put-in-Bay make time to stop in?
That's right. We are a free facility. It's free because we want people to connect with Lake Erie and really understand why it is such an incredible resource. If people begin to understand Lake Erie, they'll have a greater appreciation for it. If they appreciate it, then they're going to want to protect it. So whether you're here for 20 minutes, 2 hours, I have no doubt you will leave here knowing something new about Lake Erie and have a deeper appreciation for the wonder that is right outside our front doors.
So within the facility, what are some of the exhibits or the experience that visitors tend to enjoy the most?
Yeah, great question. So, obviously live fish displays are a huge hit, especially our lake sturgeon exhibit. I mean, it's a beautiful animal. It's the largest fish in Lake Erie. Kids love our interactive topography, bathymetry exhibits if you want to learn about how this island chain, the Lake Erie Islands, were formed during the Ice Age. And then people are just absolutely fascinated by our Lake Erie water snake exhibits. When our visitors will walk in, I'll mention we have water snakes on the second floor. And they're like, oh my gosh, really? I'm like, yeah, let's go upstairs. I will get one out and you can get up close with it. Personally, my favorite is our sturgeon exhibit. It's a living fossil. It truly is. The fish predates the dinosaurs. If you look at our fossil record that goes back 200 million years, that fish looks exactly the same today as it did 200 million years ago. And it's a great example for us to talk about one of our long-term restoration efforts. That's a species that is endangered and protected today. And we have a collaborative effort underway with many other agencies to bring that fish back in large numbers across Lake Erie.
So in addition to those efforts, what are some of the other challenges that are facing Lake Erie's ecosystem today? And what is you and your team doing to help protect Lake Erie?
Yeah, and there are many. There are many challenges. Invasive species, so plants and animals that do not belong here. Habitat loss. We have nutrient runoff, nitrates and phosphates that create harmful algae blooms. And then we have changing environmental conditions. So ice does not form as early in the winter as it used to, and it doesn't stick around as long either in the spring, which creates other challenges for the plants and animals that call Lake Erie home. But the good news is, yes, there are challenges, but there's a lot of really good research, collaboration among scientific organizations. There's fantastic habitat restoration work being done, in particular in Northwest Ohio around our marshes, streams, and wetlands that help prevent nitrates and phosphates from entering into Lake Erie. And there's a lot of work being done to monitor species in real time. So if you think about it, there are millions and millions of fish on the move across Lake Erie on a daily basis. We have a really complex food web, all the way from zooplankton animals all the way up to our top predator like the walleye. And our fish biologists are out there on the lake in real time, understanding what is happening to the lake and why does it matter and what are we going to do about it. This center provides an opportunity for public education and information about that work and what we are doing as a wildlife agency to help protect Lake Erie for future generations to enjoy.
So in addition to being an educational facility, do you have ODNR scientists actually working out of the facility?
We do occasionally, and as part of our educational programming, they will come here for talks and discussions. We just had the head of our fisheries management unit, which is based out of downtown Sandusky, here for a Saturday program. We had a packed house, and our visitors were able to learn from him about what's going on with Lake Erie, and in particular, our perch and walleye fisheries. Lots of questions about the total allowed catch or how many, what's the limit? How many fish can you catch and why exactly? And importantly, that limit can vary depending on where you are in the lake. So we have them out here regularly during the summer months. We have a fantastic website. Folks can go out and Google it. We publish our calendar of events. And so we have a speaker series. We have an ongoing film series. So lots of things to see and do when you come out to the center.
So other things that you have mentioned is that it's a hands-on facility. What are some of those interactive experiences that visitors, especially those with kids, are going to not want to miss while they're visiting you?
Oh, gosh.
You can't say all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, the live fish displays are always a hit. But upstairs on the second floor of our facility, we do a deeper dive into South Bass Island, so you can learn about the flora, the fauna, the alivars that are very unique to our island chain. You learn about the importance of these islands as a migratory stop in the spring for millions and millions of birds that are on a move. They'll make it here to South Bass Island. They're tired. They want to rest. They're hungry. They need to refuel.
They know it's a good place to hang out.
They do. And our building is unique in that it is 119 years old, so it has a really large masonry chimney. And that's an important migratory stop for chimney swifts. Really? So in the evening at dusk, we will have hundreds and hundreds of chimney swifts that will swirl around in the sky above this building. They will dive down into that chimney and roost overnight on the walls to rest. In the morning, as the sun rises, they will leave that chimney, spread out across our island. Chimney swifts are an insectivore, so they're going out and looking for mayflies and midges. and they will get fueled up. And then when the wind conditions are right, they will make that jump across the lake. So here in the center, we have a camera inside of that chimney. So you can come into our facility and actually observe chimney swift bird behavior and watch them entering into and leaving that chimney. So a lot of different ways to engage with wildlife and learn about the uniqueness and the importance of these islands to Lake Erie.
So you mentioned mayflies, and we're getting into that part of June where they are very prevalent. Is that something that people ask about a lot when they visit you?
Absolutely, and especially if they are visiting from outside of the Midwest and have not spent any time around the Great Lakes. We have visitors walking in right now going, what is going on?
Where are all these bugs coming from?
Yeah, they're a nuisance. Absolutely, they're a nuisance, but they're also a sign of the overall health of Lake Erie, and having them available in abundance is important for our fisheries. Mm-hmm. It's important for the migratory birds that are on the move. So yeah, they're here, but they won't be here forever. We'll have several major hatches over the summer, but we are full on in the middle of a hatch right now. So they are everywhere on the island at the moment.
So one thing that the center had previously, do you still offer actual fishing experiences for kids?
We do, Jill, and that's probably one of the simplest and most impactful things that we do here at the center. You know, we have wonderful exhibits that tell the Lake Erie story and what's going on in Lake Erie in real time. But for many of our visitors and their families, it's their first time on a boat, first time on Lake Erie, first time visiting an island, and first time fishing. So anyone under age 16 can fish for free on our pier. We provide the bait, the tackle, supervision, and it's a wonderful experience for many of our kids. It's the first fish. So mom and dad are getting that Instagram, Facebook, TikTok moment.
Look what I did
from their vacation. And if it's a species that we do not have on display inside of the aquatic center, we will ask the family, hey, would you like to bring your fish inside and put it into one of our aquariums and let our many, many other visitors see what you just caught? Because there are more than 150 different species of fish in Lake Erie.
Oh, wow.
People know our perch, they know our walleye, but they may not have seen a rock bass. They may not know what a bowfin looks like, which is a big, beautiful fish. Long-nosed gar, northern pike, you name it, you can catch it off of our pier right out in front of the facility.
Oh, I wondered how often that happens. Like, how often do they catch something that you don't already have inside?
You just never know. On a daily basis, our young anglers will bring in, always surprises me.
Oh, wow. So what's one fun or surprising fact about Lake Erie that you think everyone should know before they leave the island?
Yeah, many people know that Lake Erie is the shallowest Great Lakes. It averages about 62 feet across the lake, 210 feet at its deepest. But what most people do not realize that it is the most biologically productive of the 5 Great Lakes. And it supports truly one of the world's premier freshwater fisheries. And I'm talking about our perch and our walleye. We have anglers from all across the world that travel to this region because of our fantastic fishing. And despite being the smallest of the Great Lakes, it really plays an enormous role from a recreational standpoint, a tourism standpoint, and supports just an incredibly wide range of wildlife, both below the surface and on it.
Speaking of fishermen, do you ever have guys that are used to fishing on the lake come in and be surprised by the variety there? Like maybe they only are, like you said, fishing for walleye or fishing for perch. Do they often come in and say, oh, wow, I didn't realize that there were that many varieties?
They do. And in March, April, and May, we have thousands and thousands of out-of-state anglers.
Yeah.
Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Idaho. They're limiting out. They've got their 6 walleye by noon, and they're looking for something else to do. So we've encouraged many of them to come over and spend a little bit of time with us. And they have a better appreciation for the biological diversity of the lake in the range of fish species that are available. And many don't realize that This is a hot spot for rock bass, for smallmouth bass. Catfishing around the Edison Bridge is one of the premier catfish areas in the Great Lakes. So there, beyond the perch and walleye, there are many, many other sport fish to catch in Lake Erie.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So if somebody is planning a day or a weekend visit to Put-in-Bay coming up this summer, why should the Aquatic Visitors Center be a part of their itinerary?
Put-in-Bay is known for its history. It's important in American history, and then the War of 1812, the Battle of Lake Erie, legendary downtown entertainment, and of course, just, it's an incredibly scenic and beautiful island. But I'd hope that the Aquatic Visitor Center really adds something unique here on the island, and it's really an opportunity for visitors to this island to discover all of the natural resources that make Lake Erie and this island so special. And it's all free, it's family friendly, it's air conditioned. I think we've got the best bathrooms on the island, even though we did not win the Golden Throne this year.
Oh, you're going to have to go for it next year.
but wonderful ADA accessible facility, and it's right on the waterfront, minutes from downtown. We have free Wi-Fi. We have picnic tables, so if you bring your picnic lunch and spend a little time in our facility, then go out front with your family and do a little fishing and enjoy the boats coming in and out of the harbor. It's just a great experience on the west side of the island that many visitors, just don't know that we're here.
It's a hidden gem for sure. So, Steve, what is your season? I know a lot of Put-in-Bay businesses and attractions are seasonal. So what is your regular season and what are your general open hours?
Yeah, well, admission is free. No reservations are needed. We are open Tuesdays through Sundays from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. We have daily free fishing from 11 a.m. until 4. We do host school groups and many other organizations in March, April, and May, and then again in October or November. Reach out to the center if you're interested in scheduling something during that time period, and we'll work out the details.
And you'll be open to the general public then until October?
Till October 1st, correct.
And what kind of events or activities do you have coming up this summer that maybe are special weekends?
Yeah, we have, just in June alone, we have a explorer guide scavenger hunt across our property, inside and outside of the facility. We'll be hosting a geology talk with Professor Emeritus Ed Herdendorf from the Stone Laboratory at Ohio State University. Ed has a new book on the geology of the island, so he'll be here for a program and talk. And then we have Lake Erie Awareness Day with more than, I think, 15 conservation partners. And we will have activity stations all across the island that are entirely free. So it's a fun family activity. Pick up your golf cart. You can go from station to station to station and learn a lot about the island and visit a lot of areas of the islands that you may not have never seen before.
Mm-hmm. So anything else to add about the Aquatic Visitors Center that we haven't touched on today?
If you're planning a trip, visit our website. Google it, Put-in-Bay Aquatic Visitors Center. Lots of trip planning information. You can also call us directly. Our telephone number is on the website, and we can help guide you with information about transportation to the island while you're on the island and other places and things to see and do that are very family friendly.
And is that website within ODNR's website?
It is. It's a really long address, Jill. But if you
easiest to Google, I love that.
If you Google it, it'll be the first thing that comes up in a search.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today, Steve, and for sharing all of this wonderful information about the Aquatic Visitor Center.
Well, thank you, Jill. This was a lot of fun, and we will see you here at the center this summer.
Yep, I'll be there soon. I can't wait. Special thanks to Steve Norton of the Put-in-Bay Aquatic Visitors Center for joining us today. And a reminder that all of June's episodes of The Shoreline are brought to you by Firelands Winery, history and heritage in every sip. As always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a minute of the action here in Shores and Islands, Ohio. You can also find more information, including past episodes, online at shoresandislands.com. We will see you next time on The Shoreline.